first presentation is being offered by Christy Garzo. She is a registered dietitian from our Family Health Services Department at Tioga Opportunities. So at this time, I'll turn the microphone over to Christy to get us started. Hi everybody, we're just going to get my presentation up on the screen here, so just give us a couple minutes. As Christine said, my name is Christy Garzo. I'm a registered dietitian, and today we're going to be talking about the importance of water. So as my title indicates, yes, we need water. I'm sure this is not news to any of us, but we'll kind of just go through and kind of remind, everybody why it is important for us to get water throughout our day. So, why do we need water? Super important question. It just helps with our body to be able to function properly. So all of our tissues and our cells need water to run on and to make us keep moving and breathing. Actually, 60% of the adult body is made up of water. So important that we keep that rehydrated and we don't just diminish it and deplete it. It also regulates our body temperature. So this can be through sweating, or our body's cells will absorb the water in our body cells. The water in our body cells will absorb heat as they're functioning. So important that we also have water within our blood and everything. Also lubricates our joints. So obviously to be able to move and walk, and even just have our lungs breathe. Important that we have that for lubrication. And then lastly, it helps with our intestines to break down our food, to keep our bowels regular, and even just to be able to get the vitamins and minerals that we need through our food. Water aids in that. So it's true for a lot of us that we're probably not getting enough water throughout the day, but then as we get older, it becomes even a little bit harder for us to make sure that we are getting the fluids we need throughout the day. And as we age, one of the reasons that it might be a little bit harder to get the fluids that we need is our body actually holds less water as we age. So that's already kind of working against ourselves. Also, as we get older, we don't have that thirst like we did as we were younger. So we kind of have a muted perception of thirst. You may not be feeling that you're thirsty. And then by the time thirst has, kind of registered, it might be a little bit late of a sign. So important for us to always be thinking, when did I drink something last? Also, we may be limiting our water intake to help with urinary incontinence and also to decrease those frequent trips to the bathroom. As we get older, sometimes it's a little bit harder to get to the restroom. So you may be kind of making sure you're not drinking as much so you don't have to go to the restroom as often. And then as we keep decreasing, our fluid intake, that may result in dehydration. And that's where the seriousness comes with when we don't get enough fluids throughout our body. So signs of dehydration, they can be mild, they can be severe, they can be chronic. And so I'll just kind of go through some of those signs. As we start with the mild, which, is not so bad. You're kind of having a dry mouth, maybe have some dry skin, you're feeling thirsty, you have decreased urination, so you're not going to the bathroom as much as you used to, and also may have some headaches and cramping in the limbs. Then when we progress and we still haven't rehydrated ourselves, we can move into the severe category of dehydration. And some of those signs may be lack of sweating, so we're not cooling ourselves down anymore because we don't have the fluid to do so. There may be low blood pressure, rapid breathing. It can even get to the point where you're unconscious or experience delirium. And then you may have also confusion or irritability. So as you can see, we're just getting a little bit worse and worse without the fluid. So then, as I said, then this can move into frequent or chronic dehydration if we haven't, got the problem resolved, And this can cause really serious health complications. So this can be swelling in the brain, you can have seizures, kidney failure, And then the most serious, obviously, would be death, or you could also result in a coma. So hopefully with all of this, I'm starting to get you all on board with why we need to have water in our diet, because it really can be a serious problem. So with that being said, the recommendations for getting fluid can be different for everybody. So that depends on gender and age, your body percent fat, medications you may be on. So that's something that, if you're taking some medications, that you would definitely want to consult with your provider or registered dietitian to make sure you're getting the right amount that you need. It also can be increased with the warmer temperatures, as we're experiencing today. It is a pretty hot day out there. So when you're really hot and you're sweaty, that kind of thing, you definitely need to replenish a little bit more than you would on a cooler day. And that's also true for physical activity. If we're, kind of doing a lot of walking or anything like that, you're going to need to replenish the fluids as well. And then the general rule of thumb is 64 ounces of fluid for a day. That's true for most of us, that's what we should get. And then to just put it in a little bit more of, terms is 8 8-ounce glasses a day. So some tips on how we can get that 64 ounces of fluid in our day. There's many different ways. I know I keep saying water, but that's definitely not the only place that we can get fluid. You can get it through foods. You can get it through smoothies. I had up here, a tip is to drink a smoothie. You can also keep water easily accessible. So I always have a water bottle with me. Even just seeing the visual sometimes of a water bottle will help to remind you to, get something to drink. You can also add some flavor to it. A lot of really good things now is adding fruits in there, and do some strawberries and blueberries now that it's summer. You can always do a little bit of lemon or lime if you like a little bit of citrus, just so it's not so boring. Because I know sometimes for a lot of us, drinking plain water gets boring. So try and make it a little interesting. And then I said, obviously, you can drink a smoothie. And then there are a lot of foods that are high in water content. So my next slide will show you some of those. So these are foods to keep in mind when you're trying to increase your fluid intake. A lot of them you probably already know, such as watermelon or cucumbers. Those are the ones that we most think of, which is true. They are very high in water and awesome to add to your diet. But some of the other ones that were surprising are broccoli, that has 90% water content to it. Spinach has 91%. So don't, limit yourself. There's a lot of foods out there that you can eat to help increase your fluid. So just in conclusion, just keep in mind that water is super important for our body to function properly. So like I said, there are many different ways to get it. You can jazz up your water, you can drink a smoothie, you can add some of those foods that we just talked about into your diet. And we also have some recipes that are going to be on the nutrition table when you guys move from this room. When you go around to all the different tables, definitely feel free to pick up some of the recipes. There's watermelon salsa, I believe there's cucumber and dill, salad. So definitely feel free to add those in. And it will be a great way to make sure you get your fluid intake that you need for the day. Thank you very much.